Hello, my name's Duncan and welcome to Back Away from Duncan Bath Books, and I'm up for the second part of my Goodreads, what other Goodreads users think of the books I've read. So this time it's going to be the top ones according to Goodreads readers. I'm making a real hash of how I'm pronouncing this. I did in the last video, I know you probably saw that. So this is the top one, so I'm going to start at the 10th most popular, 10th rated one of the books I own. And obviously the last one will be the one that's rated highest by Goodreads readers. That makes sense. Does to me anyway. So the first one I will do, which will be number 10, is The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan, which, what we'd say about the Wheel of Time book. I only read that this year. Goodreads readers are giving it a 4.19. 4s out of 5s, probably a pretty good marking on it, but I would put this above some of the other books I've got on this list. Definitely, I really would. So, my number 9 is 7 Days in Maine by Fletcher Knebel, which is a political espionage novel from the late 60s. There was a film of it. I read it along because Steve Donahue was doing a read along with it, and it's a really, really good book, really enjoyable. They've given it 4.2 out of 5. Is that? I can't remember. I'd probably give it around about 3.5 to 4, but that's it. So, number 8, rated by the Goodreads users, is All the Wheels of Pern, Anne McCaffrey, which was the 11th one in the main Pern books, if you know Anne McCaffrey's Dragon Riders novels. They've given it 4.2. I don't think it's her best one, but it's the last one that she wrote before she died. One of the last ones she wrote by herself, and I quite enjoyed the sort of rounding up the stories, but I would have liked more to continue onwards. So that's 4.2, All the Wheels of Pern by Anne McCaffrey. Number 6, according to Goodreads pollsters, is The Hobbit, and they've given that a 4.29, which is probably fair enough for The Hobbit. But what's very weird is on this list at all, I will tell you, The Lord of the Rings isn't on here. So The Lord of the Rings is rated worse than The Hobbit, according to Goodreads readers, which makes no sense to me. But it could be to the fact that people maybe classified the one singular volume as Lord of the Rings, or the separate single volumes. So I reckon that the ratings are all over the place on that one, which could be why it's not included here. So yeah, after The Hobbit, number 5 is Daughter of the Empire, Book 1. Which was Raymond Feist and Jenny Wirtz. It's part of his Rift War books. This was the Empire trilogy. There's 3 of them. I don't like this book as much as other people do. I think it's the best one of this trilogy section of those Rift War ones. I think the second one, we have a bit of a white saviour issue problem with it. But the first book is really good. There's a really strong female character in it. And that's my problem with the second book, is I think they water her down a lot and have this guy come in, this tall, handsome, blonde guy, sort of saves the day a bit too often. It's a bit, yeah. But they are not my favourite of the Rift War saga books. The Demon War saga and the original ones probably are. So number 4 is Future Noir. Actually, I forgot to tell you what rating they gave to Daughter of the Emperor. They gave it 4.29, and equal to that is my number 4 is 4.29 with Future Noir, The Making of Blade Runner by Paul Salmon. Which I read last year because I'm doing some stuff on Philip K. Dick's adaptations for videos at some point. What's really good about the book, if you're interested in that sort of thing, is he originally wrote articles and did lots of research when the film was being made, and then expanded it all into a book later in the sort of late 80s, early 90s, and put some more stuff to it. So it's a really comprehensive making of, and it's got some really good stuff in it. So that's Future Noir, The Making of Blade Runner. I originally got this from the library. I've now got a copy of my own. So at number 4 is Magician by Romeo Feist. What am I going to say about Magician? It's one of my favourite fantasies of all time. I read the one without the extended version because the added 100 pages that he puts in it, I don't think make much difference to it. So that's the version I always read. But if you've not read Magician, it is a classic fantasy. I've heard some sort of people who like modern fantasy be a bit rough on it because he doesn't go into a huge amount of detail on the magic system. But that's not the whole point of it. Anyway, so yeah, Magician Raymond Feist. Next, for number 3 and 2, we have a flurry of dog books. I like me a dog book because I've got dogs. So the first one was number 3 is Nigel, My Family and Other Animals by Monty Don, which got a 4.33 by Goodreads readers. And I think that the reason these dog books are quite high is because a lot of people have read them, especially in the UK. So that would have skewed the numbers higher. But Nigel, My Family and Other Dogs is really good. Monty Don is a gardener, and on his gardening program, he used to have his dog, gorgeous golden retriever called Nigel. He used to be there all the time. And this is the story of that dog plus some of the other dogs he had. And it's a really entertaining read. He's a really good writer. As with most dog books, they upset you at some point. Next one, 4.33, the same one as the Nigel book, is Olive, Mabel and Me by Andrew Cotter. Andrew Cotter, if you remember in the lockdown, there was the dog's breakfast, because he is a sports commentator and he had nothing to do, and he narrated his dogs eating their breakfast, basically. There's videos on YouTube which are great. But this was the book he wrote about him and his dogs, and it's really, really good. Really well done, 4.33. So if you're into dogs, that's worth it. And I said the Goodreads rating, the Goodreads readers gave us for 4.33. The next one is the final one. This is rated highest by Goodreads users, and I think the reason it says that top one, it is a very, very good book. But I think one of the main reasons is, and a lot of people have read it, so I think that skewed the numbers up again. And that's Andy Weir's The Martian. And it's a great book. I love the book, love the film. Modern sort of science fiction is one of the best ones I've read for a long, long time. So yeah, so that is my top one as rated by other Goodreads people. I don't think that list is as interesting as the bottom one, but what can we say? So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that, and I will speak to you all very soon.